that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
please sit down.
Okay.
I am Patricia Taylor, I'm the Managing Director here of the Gym and the Wellness Center. Thank
Okay.
you very much for coming today.
You're welcome.
Nick told me a lot about you, and I'm really looking forward to this interview.
Okay.
So Nick explained that you recently qualified as
A clinical nutritionist.
that's right.
Yes.
And that those qualifications, what do they allow you to do? What do they permit you to do?
They permit me to work with clients of all ages. Obviously I can deal with dietary issues, so if clients need help in terms of, they're overweight or obese, then I can certainly give them dietary guidelines. I've got a background in fitness as well. I've actually worked for the Y, so
That's right, Nick mentioned.
yes, so I've worked as a personal trainer, group fitness person, and I've done food coaching and fit coaching and Pilates at both the YMCA and at Fernwood.
Right, okay, so it seems that you fitting the profile for the person
Yes,
that
yes.
we are looking for. You mentioned that you have worked for the Y before,
Yes.
so we know we're all about a community, and
Right.
we're just trying to bring bring to the community everything we can through fitness and various health campaigns that we've actually recently started. I don't know if you've seen our website. We're
Yes,
running
Yes, I have.
an anti-sugary drink campaign.
Great.
And so that's what we were proposing to do, is to do something more for our members. We've realized that a lot of people needed guidance in terms of nutrition, and they were
Yes.
asking for advice and for help. And we also were thinking of expanding that to a state of diseases, because various health funds are sending us their sick members
Right.
to get.
Yes, and I
To get into
apologise.
fitness.
I should have mentioned that before. Is being a clinical nutritionist means that throughout my degree, I've been not only been in clinic having patients who've had various diseases, but also in my learning, I've been covering subjects that cover disease and nutrition. So how best to address clients' issues when they've got a specific disease.
Right, so which is exactly where we want to go. So I
Okay,
suspect that's
terrific.
what Nick, why Nick had thought of you for this position. Do you, at the moment we are, for example, we're reviewing apps. So many people are using apps.
Sure.
And for our members, their membership will include, of course, your time. How do you see that you're going to be able to handle their change of behavior? And that's got a very poor success rate when it comes to apps. How do you foresee that it's going to be more successful with them coming to see you?
The difference is, and in the food coaching role I had at Fernwood, I've seen that. Sometimes I've recommended to the clients that they use the programs like MyFitnessPal because it helps them track their diet and
on top of your services.
Exactly.
As well as.
Exactly. But the difference when you've got a real live person in front of you, which they have when they come and see me for the consultation, is they know who I am, so I hold them accountable. So they know that they're going to see a real live person. An app is an app. It's not going to be, saying, why have you done that, or how can we tweak that, etc.
Right.
Well, as I can do that.
Right.
So, and I will do that, and that's what I've done in the past in my role as a food coach, is that I text them, see how they're going during the week, make sure we always have follow-up appointments.
And how do you help your client follow through the changes that you're introducing? how do you introduce the changes for?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I find that the best way that works is to do it gradually, because and I guess this is where, as a clinical nutritionist, I wanted them to get results straight away, but that's not reality.
Right.
What works better is if I introduce changes gradually. So would you like me to give you a real life example?
Please, we're all about real life.
Okay.
Absolutely, go ahead. Thank you.
All right. I had a client who came to me who had recently been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. She was overweight, well, honestly, she was obese. And the only reason she was coming was because her clinician had said, I'm going to have to put you on medication unless you can get your diet under control and reduce your sugar levels naturally. So she was newly diagnosed, not at the acute stage, but obviously during that, the doctor was saying, we'll monitor your sugar levels and you'll have to be on medication if anything goes wrong. But he gave her a period of 3 months. Within that time, she actually had 6 free sessions through her healthcare at the gym, and they included a couple of sessions with me. And she was drinking 6 bottles of Coke per day.
Which revisit our sugary drink fight. Yes.
That's why I thought it would be a good example. I put it back on her, so I actually asked her how she felt, what she thought of drinking 6 Cokes a day, because I wanted her to take ownership. And she said, well, I know it's not ideal, and I'd like to cut down, but I feel like I'm addicted and I need to have those 6 bottles. So I asked, bearing in mind what the future could be, which is, tablets, medication, possibly injections further down the road.
More weight,
and more health issues. Heart attack goes with diabetes, cardiovascular disease.
All the collateral health damage.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, she didn't want to go that route, and I asked what was realistic for her in terms of cutting down, and she believed that cutting down 1 bottle per week would work for her. So I asked her, I knew she was on a limited membership, I asked her how she felt about increasing her membership and increasing her sessions with me, if ultimately it made a difference to her, to her health. So she agreed to all that, and what we did was we replaced not 6 bottles of Coke with 6 bottles of mineral water, but a mix of plain sparkling mineral water and just clean filtered water. So she agreed to take that on board. She was able to reduce the amount of Coke she was drinking, increased her water intake, and at the same time we were addressing issues with her diet, but we did it very, very gradual, and she was involved in the whole process. It was at her pace, not mine. So it was what she was comfortable, and the upshot was, to this day, she's clear. So her diabetes
is not on medication.
She's not on medication. She no longer has type 2 diabetes, and she's dropped 50 kilos, and she's a permanent member of the gym.
This is like the best story ever, and
yes.
I don't think we manage 100% success rate, but if we could manage good success
really
rate like that, I would be very happy. As you said, you are a PT.
Yes.
I know Nick mentioned.
Yes.
As a food coach, how do you do one-on-one, or do you handle your client by group, or how do you handle food coaching?
I do in the consult. I find it works better because there's quite deeply personal issues that they're talking about, and especially when there's an illness or a disease.
So do you do
one-on-one?
So do you do a bit, but do you have 12 weeks program, or do you have a 6 weeks or that sort of?
I've been part of programs like that at Fernwood, so I've been, as I said, the food coach there, and I've done talks there as well.
Right, because I was thinking as how best to advertise your role within the Y, and indeed free talk seems an amazing way to do it, and a very interesting way. I'm very passionate about health and nutrition and exercise, of course, as well. I'd be very happy if you put together a plan as to, it's up to you. You are welcome to give us issues that you'd like.
Yes.
We would be happy to address, and we could look at those issues. I'm sure there would be and agree on some key points that we could see. We actually have the Y every June. We celebrate our founder.
Yes.
And we have a week of which is open to non-members in the community. And would you consider doing a free talk?
Of course. I'd be happy to have a stand or, and talk about nutrition, whatever worked, or do a specific talk. What I think would work really well, and obviously this is up to you. But maybe involving some of the current members with ideas for what they would like talks on.
That's
how often
we can easily do that.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure with some sort of box, suggestion box or something.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how would you be happy us advertising your services within our membership?
These days, most people I find are across social media. So whatever you've got, if you've got a website,
so
Facebook
you're happy
page,
for us to use your face?
I think it's actually a really good idea to have my photograph, because it makes it a lot more personable. People deal far better with a profile and a photograph. I've found in the past.
So the website, and would you see? I was thinking, if you don't mind, posters maybe. In the gyms.
I've got no problem at all with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that sounds good. To come to, of course, I know you've spoken to Nick about the salary, and it's not obviously a full-time position. However, I can see us expanding. Where would you like to go from there if we have a successful response to this program?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
In terms of my role within the Y?
Within the Y, and your personal fulfillment, the fulfillment of your career personally.
Okay. I'm just starting out as a clinical nutritionist. I'm really passionate about making a difference. I'm passionate about people's health, and Nick mentioned 4 hours a week. He did say there was a possibility of, if the role went really well and all the appointments got filled, that I may be able to work more hours. And yes, I'd love that. Is that
right? So if we were, yes, because I was thinking if it's a successful program, let's say we'd address it in 6 months and see how we're going. I'd be very happy to extend to longer hours, and possibly to non-members, but we'd have to see this with the board. It's not a decision I can make on my own. And also with other talks is also a great way to go about things. I just want to make sure that we are fulfilling your wishes as an employee and as a person. Because if we work well together, we don't want to lose you. Because we're not looking after you properly. So
I appreciate that.
We certainly have got to.
As long as there's open communication between us.
There always be at the Y, we're trying for that very hard.
Yes, so I know you're a not-for-profit organisation, and you give back to community. I know you've got open doors.
And we think a service like yours is an amazing present that we can.
I think it's wonderful that you can offer this for free to the members. That's incredible.
And hopefully between the two of us we'll take it further.
Yes.
So that's the whole
I'm happy to do that.
I am terribly sorry. We'll have to conclude this interview.
Okay.
I have been very pleased to meet you. I think we're going to do a fantastic work together. We'll have a review in about 6 months. I'll set up admin and they will send you all the detail. I believe that you're quite free to start as soon as it's possible.
I can start next week.
You can start right away. Okay. Well, admin will speak with you and Nick will contact you again.
Okay.
I thank you very much for coming today. Very much appreciated, and I'm so looking forward to working with you.
So I've got the job.
You do. Thank you very much,
terrific.
Vivian.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.